DJ here. This week we're going to talk about another way to earn retirement points, distance learning or correspondence courses. The policies regarding these courses have changed considerably over the years. This episode is going to focus primarily on how the Army manages retirement points for correspondence. I would appreciate comments from other reserve components about how you manage retirement points for these courses, so we can better educate the rest of the audience on how things go there. Distance learning courses have been available for decades. Many of us in the Army may remember the yellow books we used to get in the mail and having to post our completed courses back to the Army and then wait for our results to be mailed back to us. Later on, these courses were available online and we could get instant feedback on our test results. Over time, the list of courses and the military websites that offered them grew considerably, and eventually there were thousands of different courses and sub-courses available to us. We used to be able to earn 1 retirement point for every 3 hours of distance learning we completed. Nowadays, things have changed quite a bit. I will run through a quick version of those changes for you. I'm going to paraphrase heavily from a National Guard information paper on this topic, since it provides a lot of good historical references on this program. The actual paper, if you're interested, will be available in the show notes below. Correspondence courses used to be completed for retirement points only. Every reserve component had some version of these courses available to its members. In December 2001, however, National Guard members were authorized to be paid compensation for completion of certain distance learning courses. Guidance from the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness conflicted, though, with the guidance from Army directives, because it stated that service members could be compensated by way of points and financial payment. The Army guidance implied compensation could be by way of either retirement points or payment. Over time, this created a great deal of confusion. In fact, points managers in the state's National Guards, except under certain circumstances, were directed in 2012 to stop awarding retirement points for distance learning courses. The Army Reserve and other reserve components, however, continued to award points for most courses, though. Points for distance learning has now become more restrictive. The law now allows only certain courses to be paid after they are completed. This pay results in additional retirement points. These courses have to support pre-deployment and unit readiness. The list of courses which meet this requirement now numbers less than 400 of the nearly 7,000 that are available. The major problem with allowing courses to be paid upon their completion is there was no additional money authorized for this payment. This means that units have to take payment out of their own funds in order to meet this requirement. Commanders of a Deployment Expeditionary Force, DEF, which is a unit that has been notified of a pending deployment, are able to direct their members to complete eligible courses, but there is no guarantee money will be available to pay them. Payment for completed courses now is based on 4 hours of work, regardless of the number of credit hours the course may be worth. Proof of the completed course is held by the member's unit until money is available, if that happens. This change in law has had a significant impact on the ability of members to earn additional retirement points. The option is still there, it's just harder to do. The National Guard is lobbying the Secretary of Defense to modify its policy to the less restrictive Army policy in order to allow greater use of distance learning for its members. This would allow the continued use of retirement points as a way to compensate members for completing these courses and improve the knowledge and skill sets of military members. We'll have to wait until we get an answer to this question, though. Retirement points for completion of distance learning courses, even if they are not paid money, was a great way to incentivize members for their additional work. Whenever the option to complete these courses is available, I encourage everyone who is able to work on these courses and earn additional points to do so. Hopefully this policy will change and allow greater flexibility in earning points. There's currently no information, though, on when this policy may change, if it does. Well, this episode was not as optimistic as I had hoped when I originally started working on it. The research for this episode revealed a lot more restrictions than I had originally thought. I thought I knew them all, but upon review, I was reminded of quite a few. I said in a previous episode that members could earn 1 point for every 3 hours of work, and this remains true for courses completed prior to 15 April 2016. But as a result of new Army regulations and the changes in law, the 4-hour rule with pay is currently in effect. Once the option has been opened up, I'll be sure to let you know. That's all for this week. Next week, I will give you a simple method you can use to estimate your retirement pay. Please come back at that time to learn this simple technique. Thank you for joining me today, and of course, as always, thank you for your service. If you liked what you heard on today's episode, then please go below and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, please let other people know about this channel and the information it can provide for them. If you have questions or comments, then have no qualms about posting them in the comments section below. Please remember the RC Retirement YouTube channel and the RC Retirement website are not recognized or endorsed by the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or any other government agency. The information presented in these resources are for entertainment and informational purposes only. Also, the content of either of these resources should not be considered financial or legal advice. Please consult with your own legal counsel, accountant, and financial planner before making any decisions based on what you have learned here. As always, thank you for watching the RC Retirement YouTube channel.